Our project is over U.S. farms dependence on immigration and labor. This is Business Communication 3350, and our group members is Elizabeth Mars, Emmanuel Murillo, Tara Taylor, and Keisha Wells. Background on their issue. Farmers and farming industry, according to 2007 Census of Agriculture, 2.2 million U.S. farms, 87% owned and operated by families, and 63% of sales of agricultural products. The nation's food system depends on these immigrant workers year-round.
Introduction of the issue. 2 million seasonal workers lack authorized immigration status. In the U.S., the farm workers breakdown is 25% are citizens, 21% are legal permanent residents, 1% are other workers authorized, and 53% are unauthorized workers. Migrant and Seasonal Agricultural Worker Protection Act. This is an act that protects migrant and seasonal agricultural workers by establishing employment standards related to wages, housing, transportation, disclosures, and record keeping. An increase of 100% in program usage highlights the need for reform. Cause and effect. Finding enough seasonal farm workers that are legal to work in the U.S. There is a huge understaff for farmers, resulting in food shortages, increase in the cost of the food for customers, and a decrease in profits for the farm owners. The following news clip shows the importance for agricultural reform.
Wendy grows grapes for a prestigious California winery. In the spring, she doesn't need many workers to prune the vineyards. But last year, during the autumn harvest, she was 6 people short. To attract workers, she pays a higher than minimum wage of $9.15 an hour, but that's no longer enough.
We used to have people show up that we could even turn away because we didn't have enough work for them. That is not the problem now. Now we are having to go out and actively try to recruit people.
Farmers across America face a massive lack of manpower. According to official estimates, about half of their agricultural workforce is undocumented, the majority from Mexico. But tighter border controls and stepped-up deportations by the U.S. government have conspired to keep farmhands away. The agricultural industry is lobbying for immigration reform, one that would offer more numerous, more flexible seasonal visas that would get people working fast.
A visa program that allows foreign workers to come here legally, to work in agriculture, to return back to their home countries, and not have it be a bureaucratic nightmare, which we have experienced with some of the current visa programs that really don't mimic the natural flow of agricultural harvesting seasons.
Sergio Guzman arrived here from Mexico in 1996 to work in the fields. Since then, he's fought for farm workers' rights. For his United Farm Workers Union, yet another guest worker visa program is not the solution.
If we allow this country to bring farm workers, that's going to decrease wages and protection for farm workers. This country needs to provide to those persons who's contributing to the economy to have the same rights.
As advocates like Sergio point out, there are already 11.5 million undocumented migrants in the U.S., and reform efforts should focus on helping them to forge a legal path to both work and American citizenship.
Solutions for immigration reform include accelerated paths to such citizenship for current and future undocumented agricultural workers and their families. This discourages illegal occupation of immigrants, keeps farms in compliance with fair and ethical labor standards, and keeps a steady flow of legal workers in the pipeline for harvesting seasons. Another solution includes the H-2A guest worker program reform. This permit permits employers who anticipate a labor shortage for seasonal farm jobs to apply to hire foreign workers on temporary work permits. They must show evidence of the inability to find U.S. workers to meet their labor needs. The temporary work permits are for jobs that last 10 months or less, and wages must be at least the higher of the local prevailing wage rate, state or federal minimum wage, or the adverse wage effect, and it must not adversely affect the wages and working conditions of the U.S. workers. Another solution includes the Agricultural Worker Visa Program. This replaces the H-2A Guest Worker Program. It does provide W-3 and W-4 visas, provides important new rights for agricultural visa workers, and provides equal coverage under laws that apply to U.S. farm workers, both migrant and seasonal. Unionized farms are another solution. Unionized farms representation attracts more workers because they provide 30% higher wages and better living and working conditions. This is a competitive advantage in worker recruitment because of higher union standards.
In conclusion, with 53% of the seasonal farmer workforce undocumented, it is now imperative that we act on these solutions to make sure there are workers available to harvest the country's produce. Business communications can play a major role in the following ways. You could send letters to Congress urging them to use one of these solutions to help fix the problem. You can do a public service announcement so the public knows that we are in need of Congress to act to help change some of the laws that'll make things easier for farmers to find work, to work these fields. Press conferences is also a way to bring some attention to the issue and also bring awareness to the public as well. And wanted ads in places where seasonal farmers will usually find them, maybe in the paper in Spanish, to where they understand and know that there is work available if you are a legal worker in the United States. That concludes our presentation. Thank you so much for watching and hope you have a great day.